Hey there, I'm Mark from Spectrum Pulse, and today we have from Aesop Rock, Integrated Tech Solutions. The funny thing that I've realized about Aesop Rock after having reviewed his work multiple times is that I'm most drawn to his storytelling that doesn't really need the lyrical obfuscation. Always a nice perk, and Aesop Rock has only grown more expressive and borderline conversational as an emotive rapper, but the emotional core is what draws me back to his best songs, which makes his newest self-produced album a fascinating conceptual experiment, where you might expect the whole technophobic dystopia that feeds around the moody contemplation from the outside looking in that's been his standby, but that's also not really what this is. Instead, it's probably the most thoughtfully optimistic album that Aesop Rock has made in years, focusing more on the inexplicable things in which technology cannot fill the gaps, because while it'll continue marching forward with human progress, we humans are apt for all manner of misadventures, backsliding, superstition, and diversions, both within and without systems that we can't fully grasp, let alone control, and thus imperfect human connection becomes all the more valuable in those systems. More importantly, while Aesop Rock has been self-referential before, this is the first time where he interrogates the industrial side of actually making art, from inspirations to creations outside the norm to the legacy that he's created, especially when so much of said legacy is defined by commercial success rather than the artistry itself by society, which juxtaposed with technology and quantification really highlights how the problem's never been the tool, but those who will use and exploit it for cheap, destructive gains. And for what it's worth, Aesop Rock has only gotten better as a producer, juxtaposing the glossy 80s-esque synthesizers of the framing device with his most organic, swaggering grooves that he has produced to date, from the bassy, creaking scratches of mindful solutionism, the coursing, wiry guitars of Forward Compatibility Engine with Rob Sonic and Living Curfew with Billy Woods. And you know what? In recent years, Billy Woods only seems to fit better over these slightly more optimistic tones. The bubbly guitar musings of the genuinely hilarious Pigeonometry, the echoing snarl of Aggressive Steven and the messy exploration of a break-in, the shambling organ and guitars of Bermuda, the gurgling graph anthem of All City Nerve Map, the heartbreaking pianos behind the family story of Vititus, the genuinely terrific bouncing groove of Black Snow, and perhaps the most eerie and uncanny fast food order of Time Moves Differently here that I think I've ever heard. Yeah, sometimes the vocal blending isn't quite as seamless, I'll say it again, and like with Spirit World Field Guide, the meandering can make this listen feel long, and there's also a part of me that cannot place this among Aesop Rock's absolute best, mostly because his ceiling of quality is just ridiculous, but I can also argue it's probably his best since The Impossible Kid, easily his most approachable, genuinely excellent album full of quotable storytelling with a robust thematic core. If the problem in your life is not enough top-tier rap music in 2023, this album, easy solution. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching. If you wanted me to see more, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, maybe comment. Try to bring this around, especially for diehard Aesop Rock fans. I'm curious where you fall in this, especially in comparison with the larger catalog. I always feel like you'll get a dozen different answers to that conversation. Beyond that though, anything else I might be able to do to improve my presentation, I'm all ears. And if you all want to get an album onto my schedule before the end of the year, link to my Patreon right over there. As always, I'm Mark, you're watching Spectrum Pulse, and I'll see you next time.